Episode 3, coming your way. You're now getting familiar with us. So I don't introduce Adrian, but we brought out the big guns for this episode. It's a sad day for a lot of South Africans because of the results that have not gone our way over the last couple of days. So I'll introduce you to our guest that's going to unpack it for us, tell us exactly what went wrong, exactly what's going to go right this weekend, and how the Boks are going to bounce back. Katuelo, presenter on, what are you?
Just
The Roger Good Breakfast Show,
in
sports
life.
presenter. In life.
in life.
In life
Sport.
and
love.
sport. Everything that is sports related, you talk Katuelo. She actually did the send-off for the Women's Rugby World Cup. How was that?
It was awesome. It was awesome. It's amazing to see the sponsors, big weights that are behind the Springbok women's team, and it shows in their results. Obviously, the Black Ferns 15 was not the main team, but it is the systems in New Zealand. You'll know are the same across the board. So it was so amazing to see, and to see that they are buoyed by these sponsors, and it show you where money goes, it will happen, and money talks. So if you give them and invest in them, that's what happens. We see a winning team.
So much to talk about when it comes to women's rugby. Their first game against Brazil on Sunday. But before we get there, of course, if we don't talk about the Boks and their performance and we don't talk about the new changes that Rassie has made, we'll get into trouble. So, Adrian, all your predictions from last week completely out the window. Not a single one went your way, I don't think.
Sure, no, literally none of them. Isn't that so great that we get to just put this out there so people can just see how bad we are?
Yeah, keep score of you.
Yeah.
What you've done or not done.
No, literally.
To be fair, I was the one that said it's going to be slightly closer than a lot of people think. I didn't think we'd get hammered the way we did, but it's slightly closer.
Yeah, Carl and I were both like very confident, and then Morgan was the only one that was kind of like, it's going to be close. And literally when that game started, I was so happy because I was like, it's 22 with 22. Up.
Yeah.
They've scored nothing. I was like, Morgan's going to eat his words. That's what I
Katuelo,
know.
where did it go wrong for the Boks?
I thought it was fatigue, but then not physical fatigue. I think I need to reword that. It's mental fatigue. I thought there's too much planikis, too much.
Yeah.
things going on.
Agreed.
And it overplayed, and I mean even the tackles. It did seem a bit of physical fatigue but I can be corrected there because I know they had a very intense camp before the incoming series.
Yeah.
Then Rassie added a week alignment camp in between the two series. So I thought it was maybe that, and also like maybe the experience. But they have been loaded like that before, so this is nothing new. But I think it might have been and Rassie said it. They overplayed. They did too much. They wanted too much, and the plan just didn't work. And I mean, a lot of credit to Rassie. Keeps backing Manie Libbok in the sense is that yesterday at the press conference he said that he felt the Lucies, the wings, the coaches didn't give Manie enough support in the game plan. Because he can't help but see the space, Manie, and they were just not there when it needed to be. So I know Manie got a lot of critique. I know there are not a lot of Manie fans when it comes to the fly-off, but I know that Rassie knows what he sees in Manie and the structure he's trying to build around him and the attacking mindset. It's nice to see a coach backing his players and also not talking down about anyone. They taking full responsibility. But yes, I think they overplayed.
And you don't think it's just a political play from Rassie to say the right things in the media and then... if I'm honest, I don't always.
You've never been in his structures at Western Province.
I was. Yeah, he was director of rugby when I was at Rossi. To me, I think he says the right things. He tells you what you want to hear, but he doesn't. I don't think his selection, number one. If he backs Manie, then why drop him this weekend?
Because that was always the rotation policy. They said it at the start of the year or the start of the season. He said that there will be. Manie and who was the other fly off last week?
Well, 100 Pollard.
No, last week.
Technically, Willemse was
the backup flyer.
So technically it'll go those two, and he always said it was going to be Handre and Sasha for this one. That was always the plan. So if you always listen to his words, he's executing what he's saying.
I
so
don't
he's
know.
not dropping him, but he's also not dropping Willemse. It was the rotation policy because they're building this massive. He said it doesn't help you have a squad that doesn't win because then it's just numbers.
Yeah.
Now if you win, it's depth. So if they can't win, then they don't have depth, then they just have numbers. Then it doesn't help they've got this massive squad and this rotation policy. So they need to win as well.
Yeah.
But now my thing is, I thought that the tests before this, the ones against Italy, Georgia, those ones, I thought those were going to be our sort of time to experiment and things like that. And this championship would be, we say, each week we're putting out our strongest team so we can get results. We can actually see what works. Because I'm seeing a lot of experimenting. I'm seeing a lot of that. I don't know if we shouldn't just say, look here, week in, week out, we're going to play our strongest team now, just so we can actually see
But what
works
is
for
our
us.
strongest team?
Well, I don't think he knows.
If you got it wrong last week, and also to be fair, against Italy and Georgia, especially around the breakdown in certain areas, the cracks were showing. We weren't at full force then in terms of even our bomb squad wasn't so lacquer. So I mean, like, it's just like, what is the best team then? Who's the informed team? Also, it doesn't help that there were 4 injuries last week. Yeah. I mean, when Marco went off because these cool new mouth guards where it lights up and then the doc says come off and then it's an HIA because it was too much impact.
Is that for real?
Yeah, for real. Then
I didn't even know that was a thing.
And then, it's brand new and it's also being rolled out at the Women's Rugby World Cup this on Friday. We're starting on Friday.
But the impact is so big. Is that thing got impact?
On the head. So that's why it's obviously a mouth guard, so the impact on the head. And he went off for an HIA and it turns out he did have, there was an issue there. And then Peter Sef de Toy with a concussion and Sia with concussion. So that means who do they turn to? So that was almost a seniority leadership thing on the field on Saturday. But in terms of that, there were Peter Sef de Toy, Sia, Marco, and now we've got Kurt Lee's out, Edwell's out. So I mean, it's like they were also, the timing of those injuries weren't good in terms of the game as well. And they admitted that's where they got it wrong, maybe on the bench or whatever. But it's very.
Yeah, I mean, look, what is
the best team? What is the best team?
Well, how do you if you don't?
Team?
The reality is also then, if you don't know who your best team is, you've got to give. How has the Boks become good over the last 10 years?
Depth.
He's literally, but you say depth, but he hasn't. He's stuck with the Damian Willemses of this world, the Jesse Creels, the Sia Khaleesi's, the Eben Etzebeths.
But to be fair, only took over in 2017, 2018.
Yeah, and he's literally stuck with all of them.
No, but then he had to fix. He's always said he needed to get back to winning. He needed to change the culture again.
But the way he got back to winning was quite simply changing the rules. He changed the rules. When before him, you weren't allowed to pick overseas players. You weren't allowed to.
Well, that's great. And it worked. 2 World Cups later.
He came in and he tied the hands of all the Springbok coaches before him. And then when he came on board as the CEO, whatever he was, director of rugby, whatever it is, he then selected himself as the head coach, which is in business weird concept, but we'll roll with it. And then he went and gone, okay, well, I know why the coaches before me didn't succeed. Let's change the rules so that I now succeed. Whether that's right or wrong is up for debate. I mean, if you know the wrongs, why not give the coach the opportunity to coach a team that you can select overseas best players, whatever. We've been successful for the last whatever it is. But if you look at the greater scheme of things, he has gone and really selected a lot of the same players whilst building depth, which I 100% agree with.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't begin with a whole new team.
Correct, you can't. But in a situation like us getting hammered against the Australians, there's got to be some sort of a rigid approach in saying, okay, well, these guys got to get the chance again to go back. You say Mane, the players didn't build around Mane. You say all these things that you've just mentioned. Then why not give Mane another chance with a different kind of pack to show that he can? Because now you're kind of building this guy up. He doesn't perform. We know he didn't perform on Saturday, but there's hundreds of players that didn't perform. Or not hundreds. There's a couple of players that also didn't perform.
He made 10 changes.
He makes 10 changes.
So you made 10
it's
changes.
Kind of.
But he said again that a player like Mornay van den Berg, Krappies, or Ethan Hooker, if they won last weekend, those are the players that would have been rotated in as well this weekend, along with a Andre Pollard and a Sasha, in terms of that pairing. So those are the guys that suffered now, or not suffering, suffering the consequences of this loss now in terms of getting game time. But that doesn't mean it's off the table. If they're still trying, they say they can't throw the whole game plan out the window now, what they have been doing so far. So they, it's not a case of I think he's sticking to the plan, but having to adapt in that plan. And that's, I mean, they haven't lost for a while. Like
no, they haven't lost
nou moet hulle uitfigure wat gaan aan and how they do that. But
well, that's so closely connected to the Bok team. Do we know what team's going to be out for New Zealand? What's going to be?
It's likely that a Krappies will go, and the likes of RG and those guys will go as well. In terms of Flair, depending on the obviously injuries, they are going to take. If I'm not mistaken, they're all going to take a Mane and a Sasha. But he also said that a Willemse and a Fassi are struggling with confidence at the moment.
I saw that, yes.
And he says that that has an effect, and that also has adapted to the plan. But it does seem that they're going to stick to their guns with their plan, and the small changes will be the newer players missing out maybe on selection because we need the win.
We need the win and the confidence. And then you just start building.
And he said that this rugby championship in the bigger scheme, because I mean, the start of the season we were all grit back talking about 2027 World Cup already. Yeah. He says this carries a lot of weight within. This is a micro goal within the bigger goal of a 4-year cycle and going for the Triple Crown.
Everyone, let's quickly look forward at the team that he's chosen this week. I see Oxen Chair now vice captain. Obviously, Jesse takes over the captaincy role. Anything that stands out to you there that, like, specifically, I mean, Tour talks about this being part of his plan. I'm quite surprised he
I'm a
dropped
believer
Eben.
in the plan.
Are
No,
you a
but
believer?
don't you think Eben needed some rest? Like needed some, maybe not giving him a full 80 minutes.
Well,
And
you
also
know-
he says that Archie hasn't started a lot for the Boks. Even at Leinster, they use him from the bench as an impact player. So he wants to see if Archie can contribute what he does from the
Yeah.
bench from the start.
I'll tell you what, this is the one position where I think this is a rotational. Because if there's one guy that did play well on Saturday,
Eben.
it's Eben. He
Yeah, but what are the
and he-
consequences of that? How sore is his body?
Correct. And so I'm not necessarily against this rotation that we speak of. Should you be rotating at national level for your country is also up for debate. But I think Eben does need a rest. To a certain degree. Elsewhere, if you look at the starting lineup, is there anything that really stands out to you that you think?
Well, firstly, I wrote it down on this very nice book over here.
Yeah, because last week you got your team selection completely
we're
wrong.
like so modern. We have laptops and
yeah.
you come with your bookie.
Yeah,
It's-
no,
it's
I wanted
funny.
to just bring something new to the table.
He's quite astute, doesn't he? Look so astute. with
No,
his,
thank you. No, I feel very
Cute.
I feel very official with my book here right now.
Okay.
Anyway, bigger surprise, Mostert at 7. I know he's played before there at 7, but I haven't seen it in a while. Obviously, we don't have many sort of cover for that position now. Also, Ergi, I'm glad he's coming back into the starting lineup. I mean, we said last week when we had our predictions for who could be in the lineup, we all three had Ergi either on the bench or starting. So good to see him back. I mean, they've gone with Ox and Marks again in the front. So I don't know. This team obviously 10 changes.
Yeah. So you know what? You know what I
Injury
think.
enforced.
Yeah, a lot of injury enforced. But you know what I think is quite clear to me? Yes, I know maybe preempted, whatever you want to call it, but I think last week, the team he selected, they wanted to play an expansive game of rugby.
Yes. That's
I think this week, they're going back to the Bok.
Yeah.
Marks
They're
up.
going physical dominance up front.
Also the weather, I'm not sure how Cape Town
That's
weather is
right.
going to stay.
Apparently,
held up.
it's
apparently
overcast, gonna rain.
Yeah.
Then this up your alley. I mean, Franco Mustard on the 7 flank. He's literally just a ball carrier. We've got 3
Workhorse,
locks now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Workhorse. Look, when you lose Peter Seftotoy, I think you've got to bring Franco Mustard in. It's very seldom that you can't. You know what I mean? You've got to have a workhorse, someone that's just not flash at all.
And then probably the only out and out 8 we have left, and I'm saying it in Harsey or or whatever, is maybe Jean-Luc Debré. Like, would you put Kobus Wiese there?
No, Carl Lewis is a massive Kobus Wiese
I mean,
fan.
next gen.
Is Evan Roos injured? Number one, and Jono Augustus. I wanted to see him.
There was updates yesterday
Evan Roos
given.
has been released to back to the Stormers or back to Western Province.
So there was a question about that in the press conference yesterday. Jan Augustus is still he's recovering still from his injury. So,
Okay.
but he's still keeping an eye on him.
Oh, really?
Same with Ruiz.
Yeah.
So
there's two. I think that's our 2 incumbent.
But he's not
eights
going to
that
call
are-
up cover for Sia because Sia's out for 4 weeks. Khaleesi's out for 4 weeks, so they're not going to call up any cover for loose forward. He feels there's sufficient cover. They only called up Makazola Mapimpi, but I mean he's not starting in this one because you've got Cheslin back.
Yeah,
And instead of putting Kane in a centre pair there, he's put him at wing. So yeah.
And also this week going for a 6-2 split, so quite interesting.
Also, Grant Williams keeping with.
I like that.
I like Grant.
I also like that. They moved him to the wing at some point in the.
That's the thing. We've hybrid players, eh? It seems
We do
all
have hybrid
function
players,
at most places. I mean, Kwagga could go to wing as well.
Is that not maybe part of our problem? Is that we have so many players who aren't just sticking to like the fundamentals of their position, and they are
It's a
just
good argument.
trailing everywhere. And I think maybe that's what we're going to see this week. Is just look here, you have your position, just stick to it. Like we don't need to try and do any of this expansive things here.
But is it fair to judge our whole system on last week's loss?
Well, no, because
So if we can't praise Andre Esterhuizen for being tested out at Lucy and then judge it now that we lost once. I think it's awesome that we have those options. It means no one where they're going to break our, bar last week, where are they going to find fault in us? Because no matter where, there's a book. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's
I'm
quite
trying to
innovative
think.
and cool. And also we know, like even from, I know you're so young, I know, but like back in the day when the forwards looked different, even physically, now they look more leaner. Look at how Asanati's, leaned down, but he's still got the power. So know that everyone's a bit more able to run, I guess, and do more than they've always done. So
Look, I certainly
the game
agree.
of rugby has moved on.
The game is evolving, and I think we are to a certain degree moving with the times. I mean, you look at a guy like, for example, Andreas Tezen. He's the perfect example, right? Like, what about him? His skill set could be played all across the park. He can play at 7. A skill set like that, he's probably more skillful than most 7s flankers are out there. Yet
Why?
he can,
Because he was in the back line.
correct. Yet he can play at 12. He can ball carry for us. He can probably play at 13 as well. So I don't see a problem with it. I don't think we should start nitpicking on the little things to after one loss. But I do think what the loss does is it makes us be a little bit more brutal in our approach. Like, we
Because
thought,
we're used to it up here.
Correct.
We are the box.
and we're such bad losers.
Yeah.
South African public, we're such bad losers.
I was waiting for people to say like, "Oh, the ref," and I must admit, no South African went for the ref, and I know there were some calls, but no one went for the ref. It was more focused on the box, which I appreciate our sportsmanship there.
Yeah, to a certain degree, but when you get hammered by the way we did, then I mean, even if the ref made 1 or 2 different
38
decisions,
unanswered points.
correct, in 60 minutes, it's a hammering. And so I think there's a lot of wake up calls. I think, and also what was quite interesting to hear was when Rassie speaks about the fact that we didn't fight back to get the bonus
That's the
point.
thing.
You know, there's a lot about that team, a lot of immaturity about
That's what I
a
wanted
very
to-
mature Bok team.
100%. That's what I want to know. Who was supposed to be the game changer on that field? Who was supposed to be the guy? You know, Peter Steff, 2023 World Cup, when he said, "Come on, guys!" There, that chasing the sun clip where he like basically rips into the team. Where was that player to dig deep and go?
Yeah.
Who was it supposed to be? Who was that player?
But do they still have that, like, you know, after all these, and this is the argument sometimes I find is, after all that the Boks have achieved, is there still that desire and the hunger? We talk about it, but
I think it's there
you think so?
because Rusty's bringing in the next gen.
Yeah.
I think
But
now
who-
the old
so-
heads are like, whoop.
But who of the next gen is going to do it? I mean, if you go through
I
our...
rate Edwil van der Merwe. Hey? I'm a big fan of Edwil van der
I'm
Merwe.
an
so
Edwin
he's
van der
coming
Merwe, but
at the
he's
wing.
certainly not going to do that from... I'm talking about in the pack. If you
Oh,
go
so
through our
in the
pack,
pack?
like,
Oaks, Malcolm's honger. Thomas.
is he the next gen? Malcolm's part of the old gen.
Martinez and
Really?
Guan are still quiet. They're also on the bench, are still quiet, but I think they're also trying to build up skill set. And also remember, there's a big gap without Frans Malherbe.
I know.
That's a big. So, and I mean, no one's going to take him out yet. Like, you know what I mean? He's still Frans Malherbe.
Okay, we can talk about this at length, and we've got to move on because I've got so much to still try and get through. You know, when we've got the knowledge of Couture Low in studio with us, then we've got to try and
So much pressure.
get as much of it out of her as possible. Quickly, predictions for this weekend. I want to hear it.
I think it's still going to be close, but I think we'll take it with 10 points.
10. Okay, that's quite interesting prediction. Adrian, all yours?
Look, after last week, I don't know what to say anymore. But look, I think we'll win it. We'll win it.
No, don't say after with a question mark at the end.
we know.
Say it. We can
Okay,
pull a
I want to
ball.
know. I need a
I'm going
solid.
W.
Look,
Come
yeah,
on.
I do think the Boks are good at like responding.
Yes.
And I definitely think
A wounded Springbok.
Rusty's gone with a team that is going to play with that fundamental. So I do think we'll win. We'll win. Staying it.
Okay, but how much?
15.
Okay, box by 5 for me.
Okay.
It's gonna be very, very tight. I
5,
think.
10,
Flip
15.
this. We'll see who's close.
Yeah, well, I'll hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly. Women's rugby. I can't not mention it. We're playing Brazil on Sunday. Sorry, opening of the Rugby World Cup for Women's Rugby World Cup. Couture, I know that you're super. It will be a massive.
Aren't you proud? You don't think it'll be so
Ah,
cool
so
if
amazing.
all our teams,
I know.
women, men, sevens, both like just dominate?
Under 20s.
Like,
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm
everyone.
completely for it.
I'm
What do you
so-
think? If I'm also honest, yes, we've picked up big results, and I've watched those results. I don't. For me, it's going on the unknown. I don't know what the Brazilians offer.
We've never faced them. This is the first ever time we're facing them in the 15 setup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, traditionally, we should be better than them in the 15s. In the 7s, they ripped us apart. But I guess 7s is a whole nother game if you think about it. We also have a DNA with the Springbok women's team that I'm getting goosebumps. That forward, they are so strong. They are so strong, and we've got such good centers in Zintle and Kumisa. It's going to be, I think it's going to be very cool. And our win is we want to get out of the pool stage.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
What would be a realistic
out
sort
of
of
pool
positive
stages.
get out of the pool stages?
We've never won a game at the Rugby World Cup. So even if we get a win against Brazil, which my prediction is we will, it's a high performance mindset now they've created around this Springbok women's team. Usually it was just like, let's just get the ladies on the field.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's professional. It's like there's lots of work still to do, but we're in a good space, and it's a good building block that has been set from the generations before. But now we finally have like the eyeballs on the women's game with a Space the Brain as a head coach and all that is good. But I think a win would be if we are predicting to get out of the pool stages, so that means we will go to the quarterfinals, because we've got Brazil, Italy, and then France. So if we have 2 victories against Brazil, Italy, maybe we can give France a go. That will be a success for us.
How much confidence did they take from their victory against the Black Ferns?
Oh, a lot, because it was about their systems for them and what
really?
they could do. Because they knew they could do better than the week before against the Black Ferns 15. They had 2 games against them, and even what they already started building against Canada in that series, which you can see if we play against higher ranked nations, we will get better. And having a Canada and a Black Ferns 15 around has certainly helped. Just also the confidence and what needs to be worked on. Even like the dietitian involved, the girls are like, they look so good physically, just in terms of their positions and all the things they need to do. They're able to go longer. Like it's awesome. And the skill sets, Space has gone back to basics almost. Just because that's the thing in the women's game is when I am young, they don't put a rugby ball in my hand. They say, oh, wil jy nie gaan naaldwerk doen nie, or something like that, or whatever. And then you sort of decide to go ball sports or whatever. So those skill sets is something I think we just assume everyone has, but it's not. And that's been built up over the years. So
and they certainly do have a fantastic coaching staff. I mean, there is knowledge.
As well.
There is knowledge. They've got it all now. I think the investment, you spoke about it at the beginning of the show, the investment into the women's game is certainly going to stand these women in good stead going forward. I mean, already there's 1 or 2 of them. I don't know the names very well, but I know there's 1 or 2 of them playing in the English in the English league.
Lacha,
Why should I captain? I know her to be our Springbok captain, a woman's captain. I hear there's a new...
No, Lisindiso Boy is our captain, but she was out injured for a while. And then in that time, Babawa came up. But Lisindiso's back, and Babawa, which is cool because that means we've actually got, like the Bokmen, there's a leadership group.
Cool group.
So that's cool. But no, Cindy, this will be her last Rugby World Cup. She was a part of the team back in 2004, 5,
Really?
6. Yeah, so she's been around the block. And she's really laid the foundation for a lot of these players. So let's hope physically she's older than the rest, but she'll physically will hold up and be able to finish this on her terms, the World Cup. But it's amazing to see and how cool it is, man. It's cool to be part of women's rugby. I don't know if you see their social media. The teams for me are much more involved in this digital era than the men's players. I think because it's just so awesome to be involved and they get to do this. And I know we shouldn't be grateful all the time and they should be paid accordingly, but it's just, I think they embracing this new era of the world very well.
No, I'm a massive, I must say, I'm a massive fan of the women's game. I think it's really is evolving. And yes, we talk a lot about the Springboks and Bok Friday, but Bok Friday encapsulates the woman as well.
Yes, it's World Cup.
And so on Sunday, get her in front of the TV and let's support our ladies. I think they... And
not because they have, because you've got nothing else to do. Make a choice.
Yeah.
Make a choice.
The same way you make
a daughter,
correct.
take her to the games.
Correct.
Make it a choice and normalize watching any women's sport as you would a men's sport, in my opinion. Sorry, rant over.
But it's good to see. I mean, I think Morgan mentioned it on the show the other day, but the amount of tickets that's been sold for this tournament as well.
Yes, did you see
the finals sold out?
Already sold out, yeah.
So it's set to be the biggest sort of crowd to watch a women's game.
And it's cool, man. Like you must see the kit, the merchandise. Like I know it
Oh,
seems
really?
lame, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like it's a very cool game, the women's rugby game at the moment.
All right, Brody, clip that. Let's put that on social media. I think that is going to be really, really
We'd love
cool.
some free merchandise.
We'd love some free merchandise. Not only that, get people to get behind the box, the ladies. What are they?
Bok women. Yeah.
Bok women. We need to bring up. We get the Springboks and we get the.
No, there was one at a point. The campaign now is the +1. Like let's all, because I want to take all of us with, so let's be there +1.
Yeah.
But one I also enjoyed was to the Imbokoro. You know, Imbokoro roughly translates to. I'm not sure if it's Zulu or Xhosa, I'm so sorry, but it's like, it says if you hit a woman, you hit a rock. So that's how strong women are in Bokoro.
Amazing.
But that was an older campaign, but I still feel that.
Yeah, we're going to take a liberty to try and find the Springbok ladies a nice coin phrase or name for them. We get the Springbok men, you get the All Blacks and you get the Black Ferns. We need the Springboks and we need the something. Come up with it.
If someone comes up with something creative, we'd love that.
Why don't you leave a message in the comments below and let us know? what you think our amazing Springbok ladies team should be. I think that's a good way of putting it.
Good one. But
We've got to move on. Look, guys, again, we don't have much time left. I've literally got to fly, but nothing else really matters. You know, we've spoken
We're
rugby.
in a World Cup. They are playing.
Correct.
That's what, yeah.
That's all that
I think
matters.
this was good because I think if this has been on everyone's mind, so it's good to just sort of talk about rugby. This felt like therapy almost. Just like get this all off our
Let's chat.
chest.
Get it out your.
And hopefully next
I
week's
feel
chat's going to
lighter.
be completely
I
different.
know.
The Boks dominate the Aussies. We talk about Rassie and his innovative way of using different players at different positions and all that kind of stuff. So it's very easy when you lose. The cracks start to show very quickly. And our rugby-loving public are super critical. Wow.
Yeah, but we're allowed to be. The standard's been set.
Yeah,
That's all,
100%.
that's also
like
true.
that.
We didn't even talk about the
years
the
ago.
All Blacks and their performance against the Aussies, but we'll save that for another day. Quickly, we've got to talk Premier League.
Yeah.
How invested are you? It's back. How invested are you? I don't want to
I'll
talk
say
about it. My
now,
Manchester United lost to Arsenal.
I am what's the English word? Oppervlakkig. Like I know a lot about a lot, but the detail about Premier League I'm going to leave to experts. But I am a Chelsea fan. I have
Oh, are you?
been
That's
since-
unfortunate.
I know, but you wanted to know whose teams we backing
Fair
this
enough, fair
year.
enough.
I'm going to keep backing Chelsea because
No draw Crystal Palace. What do you think?
What?
They got a 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace.
It's fine. We're building.
They spent 200. I speak under
Oh,
correction.
but they've won the FIFA Club World Cup. They've got that huge thing in it. It's fine. And
They spent their strike line now. Chelsea's front line now costs over 200 million.
yeah, and it will pay
pounds.
off this season. Mark my words.
But remember,
You
we
reckon?
said, we said
Nice.
last week that the game between Crystal Palace and Chelsea would be close because
Yeah.
Crystal Palace have been building a really
no,
good
no,
team.
it's close.
Yeah, I think it may have expected like maybe a bit more goals, but
Yeah.
but it was a close match as we thought it would be.
And Adrian,
Well, look,
I'm out. I'm going to ask you the question and then I'm out.
Yeah.
Shame. Sorry.
We dominated though.
Yes.
Manchester, Arsenal. United dominated the game.
Yeah.
22 shots. I think Arsenal had something like 7 or 6.
Yeah.
And we still lose 1-0. What do you say to all our die-hard United supporters?
It's bittersweet.
In 2 seconds. In 2
it's-
minutes, sorry.
Okay, it's bittersweet because I watched that whole game and especially that first half. We were so good. Finally, it seems like the thing that our coach has been trying to build for a while is actually happening.
Yeah.
In our attack, we're being very fluid. In our defense, we're being solid. But again, we're let down by a goalkeeping error. That should not have been a goal. The goalkeeper needs to be if a ball's flying to
Yeah,
you,
that's
you
not a
need
goal.
to
I
stand your
agree.
ground, pick it up, go with it. That didn't happen, unfortunately, again, and it led to that 1-0 loss. But I'll be so honest, I'm more hopeful than anything else after this first match.
Me too. Agreed.
Yes,
Yes.
we lost, but this was a very good Arsenal side. They finished second last season.
100% agree with
We
you.
finished 15th last season. We need to remember that we are on different levels with this team, and we outplayed them. We
agree.
actually outplayed Arsenal, and obviously we didn't get the result. But I'm not going to focus on that right now because it's a long season ahead, and if we can carry on playing like that, it's going to be a much better season.
Stand-up
Wait,
performance?
how's it different? Me being happy with a 0-0 and you guys having to be so hopeful about a loss.
Because
how's that
you know
different?
United are just United.
How's that different?
Because you guys are, like you said, you Club World Cup winners. You know, you have all this money that you spent.
Yes,
You
and
guys-
it will pay off.
And you finished top fourth, when is it?
Believe.
Fourth or
Hashtag
fifth last
Ted
year.
Lasso. Believe.
Dream, believe. We've got a guy at our rugby club. Dream, believe, achieve. Doesn't stop with it.
Or an Afrikaans household, live, laugh, love.
Sure.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah,
above the
what
kitchen.
else?
Above the kitchen, above the kettle. Live,
Faith,
love.
hope, love.
Okay, quickly.
Whatever gets you over the line, I believe.
Any stand-up performance? I don't know. Anyone that really...
In terms of player.
Yeah, like across the Premier League. I mean, not just
Oh,
United.
okay.
I thought
say.
Cunha was quite good, actually, for United, seeing that we're supporters. We watched that quite closely.
Cunha and
And Bremo, yeah.
very good.
Anywhere else across the board? Manchester City, they picked up a big result. They're currently leading the Premier League, actually, I see.
Yeah,
So.
Erling Haaland again picking up 2 goals. I think you can't ever count him out.
Yeah.
Lots of people actually were debating when when you have to like pick a fantasy team, were saying, "Nah, leave Erling Haaland." It's like his
Yeah.
3rd season, 4th season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's gonna sort of run a drought. First game, 2 goals.
Still there.
Doesn't stop, eh?
Also, how beautiful was that Diogo Jota
Yes, tribute.
Yeah,
How amazing
Mo
is
Salah
that?
staying right until the end.
Yeah.
Everyone left the field and he was still there until the end of
Yeah.
the chant crying. It was beautiful.
Was beautiful. Well, there you have it. That's our Premier League wrap as quickly as possible. We spoke so much rugby that we just like touching the surface of everything else. Also, we can't. We're definitely running out of time now. But South Africa, Australia, first ODI.
Yeah.
We
Hammering
won.
them.
Has the tide turned for South African sports fans?
Well, is
The
this
Proteas.
choker tag now finally gone?
Yeah.
No, we could stop bringing it back. We won the World Test Championship final.
sorry.
We
We
have a
aren't chokers
trophy,
anymore.
so it's fine.
Yeah.
We're fine. Also, it's okay.
Yeah,
but
true.
it was amazing. But also, shout out to Keshav Maharaj, his
Yo.
first fiver ever in
Is
the
it
ODI.
his first ever?
in the ODI
5 for
format.
33, I think it was, right?
Yeah. Like if ever, he's 35 years old and was his first fiver. So I mean,
And living
he
up to
kept-
his player, you got cricketer of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And player of the match for this one
And
as
yeah,
well.
and player for the match of this one.
But it was amazing. He's saying, like, I mean, he's such a humble guy, but like, he says, I'm 35 and I just want to keep learning. And he wants to actually learn from the young guns coming through, like a Quenham Park.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's amazing. I hope he has a long career still.
But shout out
Hopefully
to,
it sets the tone.
Shout out to Tibalt Brevis, who had the greatest cameo ever. I don't know if you saw. He literally came on to the field. We had quite a, like, it's one of those points where you need someone to perform. He comes on immediately, hits a 6. Comes on again for a second ball, hits it again, but just short of the boundary. They catch him for out. He just arrived. He said, "Here I am." Boom 6, boom wicket.
Maybe it's the 6. It's the
That's
6
all
we
you
needed.
need.
Sets
That's
the
all you
tone.
need. It's
That's all we
fine.
needed. Thank you.
It's short
Thank you for
format.
that.
You go,
Yeah.
Coco.
Well, maybe hopefully it sets the tone for the hammering the Aussies are going to get at the
Because
HL
it's also a
Stadium.
3-match ODI series. So we'll see. On Friday's the second one, so we could clinch it there.
Maybe this whole week we'll just be beating Australia.
Yeah,
How about that?
Wallabies gonna get ground and pound.
Yeah, I saw so many different memes and stuff about a kangaroo with a. So it's, we need
your
to.
groups at 4 did.
Yeah,
I found
it is.
Yeah, that's the one. But also just Keshav Maharaj is now the top ICC men's ODI bowler in
You
the
lie.
world. Yeah. He
What?
last held that title in December 2023. So now that's
No ways.
actually
Look
what
at
I'm
that.
saying.
Our
Look at
Proteas
that.
flying the flag. Somebody asked me
South
one day.
Africa.
Somebody asked me one day, like, if you're a Proteas cricketer, do you think it feels like weird because everyone talks rugby. We never really give them enough credit, or we don't talk about the cricketers enough. Like,
I think
do
they're all too happy to maybe take a back seat on the talking part.
You reckon?
Yeah.
For now, yes.
Must be nice. I mean, everyone still knows you, but you don't get as scrutinized.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
look, they lost on Saturday as well against Australia, and it was like, yeah, whatever. But your Springboks.
But the
lost.
Springboks were at home. I think that's
True,
also a
true,
different.
yeah.
Like
True,
it
that
was
also adds
60
dynamic.
years, I
close.
think, eh?
62 years
62 years at the Aussies have beaten us at Ellis Park.
at Ellis Park.
Wow.
And we've won 7 out of 8 tests here in Cape Town against the Wallabies.
Okay, but don't
And
jinx us.
I didn't say
7 out of
anything.
8.
7 out of 8.
Then we lost one. When did we lose? Probably at Newlands, but I
it was
mean
probably
many years ago.
when I was not born.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's since 1992, this record. So,
So that's a long time.
Well, there we have it, folks. We've run out of time. We could carry on all day, as I always say. But remember, you can obviously catch the on-air version 8 to 9 a.m. every Saturday morning. You can catch me and Adrian. Maybe we'll get Couture on this Saturday because she's got so much more knowledge to share, and it's so cool to have her on board. So hopefully we'll see what we can do there. Of course, we didn't even talk about the Cincinnati Masters. Yannick Sinner getting out of the...
it's fine. The US Open is coming. And then we're going to
yeah.
have to just talk US Open.
Yannick Sinner was in tears pretty much because he had to walk off the court.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. You're not a fan?
Of Yannick Sinner, no.
Who's your... Are you
Alcaraz
Alcaraz?
always for me.
Really interesting.
I'm glad we didn't.
Alcaraz is for me the perfect combination between Federer and Nadal in terms of
Wow,
his
that's
style
a
of play.
massive statement. Wow.
Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
interesting.
100 backhand sometimes, Roger.
You were saying, Adrian?
No, I said we didn't even talk about Drickers, which I'm glad. We didn't even bring that up.
Oh, we didn't even
I
touch on the
think
trick.
he won 61 million rand, so he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He has the
61
money.
million rand, is that what he won?
That's what it.
Okay, you'll be fine.
converted
To have a blanket on you for 25 minutes, I
But
suppose.
his coach also said, yeah, blank. His coach also said that he's not doing a rematch.
Yeah, he's not doing a rematch. I actually watched a very cool interview with his coach. He said he's not doing a rematch purely based on the fact he doesn't think his ground and pound game is
That's
actually
fair.
good enough to. So they're going to take a couple of months to go and work in his ground and pound and then come back and get a rematch, hopefully. So lots of fights will probably happen between now and then to see who he does eventually fight. But I think he definitely wants to get one back on Shavayev. So was not the greatest sporting weekend for us, but this weekend we promised to fix all the wrongs from last weekend as we head towards. It's the box, it's the cricket, the box, and Bok Woman of Sunday. Still so much sport to enjoy. Of course, let us know what you think of the show. As you know, it's our 3rd episode, so we're happy to engage. We're happy to do whatever it is that you want to see. You know, when we've got experts like this in studio, then we're going to prepare to do whatever it is that you feel we should be doing. So leave some messages in the comments for us and let us know what you think of the show and where we can, what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. And that's really a wrap, I suppose. Anything else? Passing words? Couture, you just booked this weekend.
Yeah. Are you allowed to swear?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Book
Brody,
funk. Book funk.
Beep that out.
I wanted to say I had so many quotes ready from Rassie Rasmus's press conference where he was talking
Did
about
you?
how bad the performance was, but I was like, oh, can we swear? Can we not?
Your dog.
Yeah,
You know,
dog.
Morgan,
Dog.
You know Morgan breaks all the rules,
Yeah,
you know?
All the swearing, but you know, they were embarrassed. We were embarrassed, and now let's turn that around this weekend. But you're also like, I'm also so bummed I missed the last Boland Cavaliers home match.
Yeah,
because
we didn't even talk about
the
that.
Curry Cup seems like
Sold out.
specifically in the Boland seems like such a vibe, and it's like I mean, I know Harvey's free from his days at coaching
Yeah, yeah.
Marty's, and I mean, just so happy that the investment there as well coming in from
Correct.
the big guns investing in Boerland rugby. I mean, well done. Like, yeah, so I'm getting so
We
bummed I
we
missed
need
the
to.
PS there.
I think we need to unpack it. I was never a massive advocate for Curry Cup rugby. I just think the way it's currently
Unfortunately,
evolved.
yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's diluted. I spoke about it at length before.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of debate on TikTok actually about the comments that I made about the Curry Cup and diluting the jersey and so forth. But let me tell you what, the way the Boerland are performing and the talent we see come through there's now the argument that the Paul Gyms, the Paul Boys of this world are going to start to fall under the Boerland
But that's always
banner.
been the
It's
big,
always been
big
there.
invisible conversation is like, you go to Western Province or Boerland, and then obviously Western Province has got the money,
Yeah.
you say, in that, or the glamour
Yeah.
above the Boerland. But I mean,
So,
Skalkberry is one of those that could have gone both.
You talk about the glamour, the Boerland are performing proper. They picked up
You see
massive
crowds,
results.
you see results, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. So keep a close eye on Boerland. We're going to talk a little bit more about that next week. Without a doubt, I think they'll pick up a big result against the Pumas. I think they're playing this weekend, and then we'll talk a bit more about Boerland rugby. Anything of you, Adrian?
No, look, all I want to say is Man United are winning the Premier League. That's
wow.
that's my takeaway.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm not sure how knowledgeable that sports presenter is on that side, but
It's passion.
we
It's more
can live in
footwork.
hope. We can live in hope. Thanks so much for joining us again. We'll catch you guys again next week. Same time, same place. If Brody gets it out, it should be out on a Thursday night. Otherwise, we catch you on a Friday. Let us know your thoughts. See you guys later. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Get behind the box and get behind our women's. They're playing on Sunday. Catch you later. Ciao.